What's up guys, I'm Shane and this is Spare Change. Here on the channel, we discuss all things audio and video, like new movies and new AV equipment. So if it's your first time here, consider tapping that subscribe button for new weekly videos. And for a review, we've got Jumanji, The Next Level on 4K Blu-ray. I won't be reviewing the movie itself, I'm just going to share with you my thoughts on the video and the audio quality. Now for a few tech specs. The movie was shot in 3.4K, it's got a 2K DI, it's rated PG-13. Runtime is 123 minutes. Aspect ratio is 239:1. Therefore, you will have those black letterbox bars. Well, before I watched this movie, I went and rewatched the last Jumanji movie. For video, I think I gave it an 8.5. The video quality for The Next Level I thought looked pretty much the same. Many of the shots, whether they were near field or far field, had that 4K crispiness. Very fine razor-sharp detail on facial features, pores, facial hair, places where belly button piercings would be were crystal clear. The jungle foliage was also impressive in all the background scenery. Now, like the previous movie, there's a ton of CGI in this one too. Therefore, when there's a mixture of live action and digital elements, you'll notice the scene becomes softer. The ostriches or the camels will look softer than the human characters. I don't think it's enough to take you out of the movie, but they are in a video game after all. As for HDR, I thought color saturation was very natural with deeply saturated hues. The jungle greens popped and the gradational tones were smooth throughout. There's some decent spectral highlights from flames, light bulbs, and cascading lights, but it was nothing too crazy. Black levels looked great in the darker scenes with no issues crushing detail. And with black levels being so good, there's excellent contrast with very good layer separation between foreground, middle, and background layers.
Right. I got no balls.
Audio is in DTSX, which is different from the Atmos mix in Welcome to the Jungle. After watching the first one, I found The Next Level to be noticeably lower in volume. This is also an Imax enhanced disc, so there might be a chance you'd need an Imax enhanced processor or receiver to get the full-blown experience. So if you've heard this with an Imax capable processor or receiver, then let me know how it sounds. Leave a comment down below. Anyways, I thought the high channels weren't used all that much in comparison to the previous movie. The first one had decent outdoor jungle sounds that surrounded you, whereas this movie I barely heard anything at all. I did make a couple notes, however. Whenever someone came back to life and dropped out of the sky, there is some presence coming from above. Not as much as the first movie, but you can tell that there's something happening from up there.
Shut the front door. There
is a plane flyover, and there is some musical extension in the dance fight scene.
Anybody want to dance with the bride?
Lower channel movement was better than the overhead movement. The ostrich attack in Chapter 5 was one of the better sounding parts of the movie. You'll hear ostriches running around your room, and the cars zipping from front to back. Bass response, like the overhead effects, I thought was underwhelming as well. Those drum beats that shook the room in the first movie was nowhere near the same level on this one. And whenever someone dropped out of the sky, there would usually be a big bass drop. That didn't happen in this movie. I suppose if I raised the bass levels, it might make things better, but I shouldn't have to change from my calibrated settings. Soundstage wasn't as big as I was expecting, and I didn't think it captured the jungle atmosphere as good as the first movie. Dialogue was fine, and it was always easy to hear, so there were no issues there. So for audio, I'm gonna go with a 7.2. I think this was just an average mix. Like I said before, I'm not sure if you'd need an Imax enhanced processor to squeeze the very best out of it, but just the straight DTSX mix, it just wasn't as good as the first movie. For video, I'm gonna go with an 8.5. I thought this looked just as good as the previous movie, and it should make for a consistent viewing experience if you're gonna watch them back to back. There's some 4K crisp shots and some soft digital ones. Overall, I do think it's a great looking disc, and I did laugh more during this movie than I did the last one. Well, what did you think of this 4K transfer? Do you think it looked and sounded better than we did? Well, let us know in the comments down below. If you want to pick up this movie on disc or digital, I'll leave some links for it in the video's description. As always guys, thanks for watching. If you want, you can find us on social media, and if you want to support the channel and get exclusive content and special discounts on gear, then stop by our Patreon page. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys again in the next one.